Hey folks, Copperthumb here. When you're carrying your playmats to your gaming sessions, are you doing it with the old elastic band or maybe a hair tie? Well, I'm telling you, this is no longer the way. Get out of here. Now we're going to be using one of these that we're going to design right now in less than 10 minutes. Look at this gorgeous pattern on this. Isn't it cool? Well, this is going to be your new playmat holder. It's really easy. It's really simple. It looks fantastic. And while designing it, I'm going to teach you all about the wireframe modifier and how we can create these incredible, gorgeous lattice-like patterns. So without further ado, let's get into the tutorial. All right, folks, let's start as we always do by saying hello to our old friend, the default cube, by then swiftly hitting X and saying goodbye to our friend, the default cube. Now, this one's going to be pretty simple. So all we're going to do is hit Shift A to bring up our add menu, and then we are going to add in a cylinder because by all rights, it's going to be cylindrical in shape. And yeah, we pretty much have all of the framework for our playmat holder already done. So we're going to hit Tab to go into edit mode, and then I am going to hit 3. And I'm going to delete this top face, boom, and I'm going to delete this bottom face. Now I'm going to hit Control R to create a loop cut, and I'm going to create a loop cut right down the center here. So I can click and then click again for that to lock in. If you click, you can move it around, but if you click again, that's when it locks it in place. And I want this exactly in the middle, because what I'm going to do now is go into this X-ray wireframe mode here, hit 3 to go into face select mode, grab all of these bottom faces, making sure that they're all selected, and then hitting X and deleting those faces, because what I'm going to do is add in our other old friend, the mirror modifier. And this means anything I do on the top will happen on the bottom. So make sure that the axis is set to the Z axis, get rid of off the X axis, and make sure clipping is on. Clipping and merge want to be on. So that is great. Now anything I do on the top will happen on the bottom. Cool. So the next thing I'm going to do is just a little bit of simple work. I'm going to hit 2 and to go into edge select mode. I'm going to grab this edge. I'm going to extrude, and I'm going to lock it to the Z axis by hitting Z. And then I'm going to hit S to scale it out just a little bit, just to give it some more, a bit more interesting shape. Kind of like, you know, cuffs. I want something like a thick edge on it. So I'm going to extrude on the Z one more time and bring this up. So now we have this kind of almost, you know, Mario looking pipe or like a cool bangle even. However, if we tried to print this, nothing would happen because it has 0 thickness. Also, you know, you could print this and it would look, you know, it would be functional, but I think we can add a little extra style to this. So what we're going to do is add a cool pattern and some holes. And if you followed my other tutorials, you will have seen me do this on my dice tray tutorial, but we're going to reiterate that again now, and I'll show you how we can create some cool patterns really easily. So let's look at that right now. So how do we make this playmat holder a little more visually interesting? And I think we can do that quite easily by first adding a bunch of loop cuts here. Let's add 3 so we get these squares running across here. I'm going to click this button in the top right, the wireframe mode again, and I'm going to select all of those faces. I'm going to attempt to select them. I'm going to go into side view mode so I can get a better look here. Boop. Let's just get those ones there. Amazing. Now, when you go into wireframe mode, it means you can go right through your model like an X-ray and get everything on all sides. Well, now that I know I have all those, I'm going to right click and I am going to, if I don't see it in this menu here, where is it missing? Okay, I'm going to go into face up here and I'm going to hit poke faces to create this cross hatch pattern in all of my faces, which looks awesome. Now what I can do is add another modifier that I just adore, and this is the wireframe modifier. Now look what happens when we're in edit mode and I go generate wireframe. Nothing happens. However, if we go into object mode where it shows the modifiers at work, you'll see that it creates this interesting shell. Now, it actually adds thickness as well around, it adds actual thickness around each of the vertices and the edges. And in the wireframe modifier here, we can increase the thickness there, which I'm going to do. I'm just going to bring this up a little bit. And now suddenly we have this gorgeous sort of latticed geometric pattern forming that just looks awesome. You see that? How cool is that? And what we can do there is, yeah, increase the thickness to what we like. I think that looks great with the top edge. I just want some gaps in there, but I want it to be sturdy enough. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Doesn't that look awesome? The last thing to do is to make this print a little easier. You'll see on the top edges here, there's like an edge missing. If I click this boundary, it's then going to add this little boundary edge on there. Now, that won't be great for 3D printing because we have the sharp edge, but what we can do is apply this modifier, apply this. Actually, don't apply the mirror modifier because why do double the work? Let's just go to the top view here. I am going to go into face select mode. I'm going to right click that edge, hold shift, right click that edge. Boop. Come on. There you go. To grab those. Amazing, amazing. And then what we can do is we can flatten those faces. Now, I use an add-on, which I recommend for everyone to get, which you can go into Edit, Preferences, Get Extensions, and then search for LoopTools. You will see it here. LoopTools is an incredible tool. It comes built in, so you just have to basically install it. You can see I've got it installed here. Once it's installed, you can right-click and bring up your LoopTools menu, and then what I can do is just hit Flatten, and then it will flatten it either to the best fit, and it takes a guess, or by your view. So I've got a perfect view on the Z-axis here, which you can also get from numpad Z. And then if I hit flatten, you'll see now that it creates this flat edge, which is perfect for us because this will sit on our print bed a lot easier, a lot nicer, and will print a lot easier. So yeah, all I have to do then is apply that mirror modifier and then export this STL, file, export, STL, and then do it as playmat holder, and I'll do playmat holder dash V1 selection. I'll just hit export STL, then we're good to go, and then we'll get this on our printer at regular settings. Doesn't need any supports. I'll probably add a brim just so it has a bit more adhesion on the bottom because there's not a lot touching the surface. And then yeah, let's see how this thing turns out. Okay, folks, it's super quick. I've added this to my slicing software. I am using Bamboo Studio, and I'm printing this on my Bamboo Lab A1 Mini because it's an absolute workhorse. I'm printing it in eSun PLA Plus with all of the regular settings. So it's going to be printing at 0.2 millimeters standard. I don't have supports on because I don't need it, but the only thing I am going to do is add an outer brim with a 5 millimeter brim width, which is actually the default. And then I'm going to slice this up. And remember, you can resize this to whatever size you want for whatever thickness your playmat is. And you'll see here that this is going to take about 4 hours for that to print. All right. Looking good. You can see all the white lines are where the tool head is going to stop and start. So they'll kind of be mixed in there. And this thing looks great. So yeah, I'm going to send this off to the printer and then let's see how it turns out. I'm really excited for this one. And that's it, folks. Look at how gorgeous this thing is. It turned out beautifully. And you can, of course, design this to whatever size you want so it fits your playmat perfectly. Why was that hard to say? I don't know. If you've enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. Consider watching my other videos. I have oodles of tutorials now to make all sorts of cool stuff. And if you are so inclined, please also check out my Patreon. You can jump on there. You can get some bonus content. You can also, if you don't want to make this yourself, all of the files are uploaded to my Patreon so you can download them for yourself. But I've been Copperthumb, you've been awesome. I'll see you in the next one.